Yes, sir. Welcome back to FairPlay Politics. It's your boy Junior here. It's a pleasure to have y'all back with me. Make sure to subscribe before this video even starts. Make sure to go subscribe right now. I'm watching you subscribe. I'm just messing with you. Thank you guys for joining me once again. So today I will be doing a Senate election prediction video. So basically, I promised you guys this about a month ago. I said I was going to do it in the beginning of October, and I'm delivering on that promise. I also stated I was going to do a presidential election prediction video again. I did one back in September. Check that one out. I plan to do it on October 3rd, but sadly, Donald Trump got diagnosed with coronavirus, I believe October 1st is the second one of those days. The reason that I decided to put off that video is because I didn't want to do a video that focused only on the debate, because now that Trump has coronavirus, it's a big deal. So I wanted to see whether the polls change, whether Trump's polls go up or go down, because right now he's really down like crazy. Because sometimes when people go through stuff, they gain sympathy points, and maybe Trump will do better, maybe he'll do worse. Who knows? But I didn't want to force that video for now, so I wanted to give it like a week or two before I do it. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But today I'll be giving y'all a prediction based off the Senate, how I think it's gonna go. And yeah, so stay tuned. Let's get to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the more solid and safe Democratic and Republican seats. And then from there, I will talk about the toss-ups, which are the races that could go either way. So let's get it. So I want to start off with Oregon. Oregon is a safe Democratic seat. Democrats aren't going to lose that state. Idaho, Republican seat. Wyoming, Republican seat. New Mexico, Democratic seat. Alaska, safe Republican seat. Nebraska, Republican. South Dakota, Republican. Arkansas, Republican. Louisiana, Republican. So Mississippi, it's crazy because Mississippi has like 40% of their population is African Americans. 90% African Americans vote for Democrats, and the Democrats can never even get close to Mississippi. The current senator from this state, her name is Cindy Hyde, I believe. She's gonna win this again for sure against Mike Epstein. Tennessee, Republicans are gonna win that state for sure. Alabama, oh man, 2 years ago during the Senate special election for the seats of, what's that guy's name? Jeff Sessions, the former attorney general for Donald Trump's administration. A Democrat barely won the state just because the guy on the other side was like a child molester, pedophile, something like that. So a Democrat barely won it, but sadly he's going to lose this seat to Tommy Tuberville, former, I believe, Auburn University football coach in Alabama. So yeah, so the Democratic Party is going to lose this seat for sure. So I'm gonna give it to the Republicans right there. Kentucky, there's no way in heaven or hell that Mitch McConnell's gonna lose his seat. He's a Senate Majority Leader, and Kentucky's conservative like crazy. Even though they do vote for Democrats when it comes to the gubernatorial level. So I think that Amy McGrath, who's running against Mitch McConnell, is gonna lose his race for sure. Illinois, I don't even have to look at who's running. Democrats are going to win that for sure. Michigan, Democrats are going to win this. Gary Peters is a very popular incumbent in Michigan. Virginia, Democrats are going to win that. It's funny because Virginia used to be a fairly conservative state, but ever since 2008, whenever Obama won the presidential election, Virginia has been a solid blue state. New Jersey, Democrats are going to win that seat. Delaware, Democrats are going to win that seat for sure. Massachusetts, Democrats. Rhode Island, Democrats. New Hampshire, Democrats gonna win it. The funny thing, New Hampshire is a fairly is a swing state when it comes to a presidential election, but for this Senate seat in particular, Democrats are gonna win that. West Virginia, Republican. I forgot her name. Let me look up her name again. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's find her name. Shelley Moore Capito. She's going against Paula Jean Swearengin, which is a very progressive Democrat. But what sucks is that This is West Virginia. Even though West Virginia does have a Democratic senator, Joe Manchin, but he's a very conservative Democrat. If you want to win as a progressive Democrat in West Virginia, you have to be an ultra populist, and you have to find a way to bring in the coal miners and the unions to support you in that state. That's it. It's a very tall task to win that state as a progressive Democrat. So shout out to Paula Jean Swearengin for trying, but she's not going to win. And as you see on 538, she's down like 30% on their forecasted vote share. And if we look at the light model, which is focused on the polls alone, she's going to lose by like 32%. So yeah, she's going to lose that election for sure. Let's go back. Let's look. Minnesota, Democrats are going to win that. Senator Tina Smith represents Minnesota right now. Colorado, funny thing is they have a Republican incumbent right now as a senator, but he's out of there. He's gone. Democrats taking that seat. Arizona, Democrats taking that seat. And it's crazy. The seat that's up right now, I believe, is John McCain's former seat that went up for election in 2018, whenever he passed away. And like, it's crazy. Arizona's about to have two Democratic senators. This race is between Mark Kelly and Martha McSally. Mark Kelly's a former astronaut, and his wife is Gabby Giffords, a lady that was shot back in, I think, 2007, and she became a very famous gun rights activist. And she used to be a representative from Arizona as well. So they are a power couple over there for sure. So yeah, Mark Kelly is going to beat Martha McSally for sure. She's out of there. And the funny thing, I think she ran back in 2018 against Kristen Sinema, which is the other Democrat that represents Arizona. She lost. So she's about to lose twice back to back. It's crazy. And Arizona hasn't had two Democratic senators in a long time. Probably last time they had two Democratic senators was when the Democrats were like the conservative Democrat, when we had Dixiecrats. So that's just mind blowing. And speaking of let me get this. Hold on, give me 1 second. Jim Inhofe is not going to lose Oklahoma. That's over. Texas, this is where I'm from. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Arlington. Shout out to the Ag. If you know what the Ag is, you know what the Ag is. If you know, you know. But so yeah, we're gonna lose it. So I'm a Democrat, so as y'all can tell. But the Democrats are gonna lose this state for sure. What's his name? John Cornyn is not gonna lose to C.J. Hager, or Hager, however you pronounce her last name. Forgive me. John Cornyn is gonna win this state for sure. Probably gonna win it by about 5, 6, 7%. I think 538 predicted that he's gonna win it by, I think, 10%. Yeah, they think he's gonna win it by 10. But Bill Clinton. Joe Biden's doing really good in Texas right now. I think he's only down by like 3 or 4%. I think he's gonna lose the election by 3 or 4%, which will allow other down ballot Democrats to get closer and do better in Texas. So I don't see MJ Hager losing by 10%. Probably should lose by like 7%, because she'll be riding on on Joe Biden's coattails. And same thing happened in 2018 with Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke he lost by 3%, and that led to a lot of down ballot Democrats doing way better than expected and taking a lot of seats on local levels, on the state Senate, the state House seats. And that's the power of having a really good candidate on the top of the ticket, because they can bring everybody along with them. So shout out to Beto. I wish he would have ran for the Senate again instead of running for president and embarrassing himself, but it is what it is. Let's look at Kansas. So Barbara Bollier is running against Roger Marshall. Roger Marshall is going to win this seat, even though it's going to be fairly close. He's going to win by at least 4%. So all that we have left is Montana, Iowa, Georgia, and the Georgia Senate special election seat, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Maine. And right now I got the Democrats at 48, Republicans at 45. So these states are going to decide the balance of the Senate, decide who wins control of the Senate. And let's start off with Montana. So in Montana, we have Steve Bullock running against Steve Daines. So Steve Bullock is the current governor of Montana, a very popular governor, going against Steve Daines, which is a fairly popular senator from Montana. Keep in mind, Montana is a very conservative state, but it's funny. They have a Democratic senator already. What's his name? John Tester. Shout out to John Tester. And he's a moderate Democrat. He's not really a conservative. I'll call him a moderate Democrat. And if Steve Bullock somehow wins the seat, we'll have two Democrats representing Montana. Mind you, Montana never votes for Democrats when it comes to the presidential level, but a Democrat can win the gubernatorial race, a governor race. They can win a Senate race. You know how they say politics is local, and it's true, because these Democrats can win on the local level and the Senate level and the representative level and the governor level, but not on the presidential ticket. But yeah, so I honestly think that Steve Bullock is going to turn this out and win this. If we look at 538's predictions, they have Steve Bullock losing by about 3% in their deluxe model. If we look at their light model, Steve Bullock loses by only 2%. If you look at just the polls alone, I think Steve Bullock is going to pull this out somehow, some way. So shout out to Steve Bullock. I think Democrats are going to pull it out somehow, some way. They're going to pull it out. Let's look at Iowa. So Iowa, we have the incumbent Joni Ernst going against Teresa Greenfield, I believe her name is. So if we look at the deluxe model on 538, they have it as essentially a toss-up. They have Joni Ernst winning by 0.5% within the margin of error. So this means this is just a coin flip. You just pick somebody and roll with it. Who knows? Let's look at their light model. On their light model, they have Teresa Greenfield winning by 1%. So that's looking at only the polls. So we look at the polls alone, Teresa Greenfield wins this election. And I don't know I really don't know who's going to win this. I really don't. Teresa Greenfield she's a really strong candidate. And I guess if I had to put my money on it, because this is at this point, this one is just guessing because it's such a toss up. Who knows? Like who knows for real? I'm gonna put my money on Teresa Greenfield. Let's go with her. I think she's gonna get this seat. Because Joe Biden he's doing decently here, so he could bring her. He could help her out on the coattails as well if he somehow wins Iowa as well. So like if he does like a sweep of the freaking Midwest. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Teresa Greenfield, depending on how well Joe Biden does as well. It's a conditional kind of decision. So let's look at Georgia. Let's start with the Georgia regular seat, not the Senate, the special election. So we have John Ossoff going against David Perdue. David Perdue is going to win the seat. John Ossoff ran for like a congressional seat, a representative seat a few years ago, and came pretty close and lost. It's a very conservative district that he lost by a small margin. But I don't see him winning this statewide seat. If you couldn't win that small district, even though it was quite conservative, I don't think he's going to win this Senate seat. And if you look at 538, I think they have him down by like, 3%? They have him down by 3%. It's going to be close, but I don't think he wins. When we look at the special election seat, these are all the people that are running right here. So as you can see, hold on. Let me take it out the light. Let's put it on the deluxe. But all right, let's start with the light. The light mode just shows you what the polls look like based on what they're predicting based off polls alone. So looking at only the polls. And it looks like the Democrat is going to win the first round of it. So basically, they're having a special election. So all the candidates are on one race. So there's no primary. There's no Democratic primary, Republican primary. So it doesn't matter. So, but if you don't win 50% of the vote, it goes to a runoff. So the top two candidates will go one-on-one against each other at a later date. So it's looking like. Looking over here, that it's going to be Raphael Warnock and Doug Collins going at it. But keep in mind, Kelly Loeffler is the current incumbent, and I believe she's dealing with a scandal for like insider trading. Like she was using insider information to trade on the stock market and make a lot of money. But when we look at the deluxe model, 538 got Kelly Loeffler winning this and going against Raphael Warnock. And I think it's going to be her and Raphael Warnock, in my own opinion. And I think she's going to pull it out somehow because Georgia is very conservative. Even though Georgia has slowly but surely turned to it's kind of turning into a purple state, they still have a ways to go. And I think that on the Senate level, they're going to vote for a Republican. So I'm going to give both of these seats to the Republicans. South Carolina. So we have Jamie Harrison and Lindsey Graham. This guy, Jamie Harrison, has raised a crazy amount of money against Lindsey Graham. My goodness, they had a debate, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. He did pretty good, too. So it's very close. It's going to be a very close race. But I think it's in South Carolina, man. Conservative as you can get. Even though they're slowly transitioning into a more competitive state, it's still very conservative. Lindsey Graham ain't going to lose the state. He's not going to lose it. Even though Jamie Harrison is a formidable candidate, I want to see that guy run for a congressional seat. Let him run for that and build up his public image. Maybe he'll run for president in the future. But, run for that. Maybe 6 years from now, you can run for the Senate. And maybe 10 years from now, you can run for the presidency. Who knows? Well, not 10 years. 8 or 12 years from now, you can run for the presidency. But, I want to see him do that. I think that would be the most advantageous thing for his political career. But he's gonna do pretty well here. He's probably gonna lose it by about 4 or 5%. 538, I think, has him losing it by like 5%, 7%. 6.4%. 538 got him losing. And if we look at just the polls alone, they got him losing by 5%. So it's gonna be fairly close. But as you can see here, so this election will be decided on these last two states, North Carolina and Maine. And with North Carolina, it's gonna be close, but the incumbent Tom Tillis is going to lose to my guy Cal Cunningham. It's looking like Cal Cunningham has a lot of momentum behind him, and now Tom Tillis has coronavirus as well. So a lot of Republicans caught this thing whenever they were having that little announcement party for their Supreme Court Justice pick, Amy Coney Barrett, and a lot of them caught COVID at that event. So it's looking bad for the party. But I think if you look at the polls, Cal Cunningham is doing really good in North Carolina. I think North Carolina's going to elect a Democratic senator. So I'm going to give it to Cal Cunningham. And then we look at Maine. We have Susan Collins versus Sarah Gideon. And I'm calling it right now. Susan Collins is out. Sarah Gideon second to seat. Susan Collins lost a lot of support amongst the moderates in Maine after she voted in favor of Kavanaugh back in 2018. A lot of women voters, a lot of moderates were really mad at her for that, and she never got them back. And if we look at 538, what do they have her at over here? They got her losing by about 5%. So, and I agree. I think she's gonna lose it about 3%. Probably it's gonna be fairly close because she still has some support in Maine. But other than that, I think it's goodbye for her. But yeah. So that's what I got. I got Democrats picking up by what, 5 seats. Republicans losing by 5 seats, and Democrats now have the majority in the Senate. So it looked like, what's his name? Chuck Schumer is gonna be the majority leader if this goes as of today, October 4th, 2020. I think Democrats are going to take the seat. But we still have, 30 days before Election Day? This election cycle is going to be crazy. Like, it's unprecedented. So much is going on. This October is going to be full of surprises. So y'all make sure to subscribe to me. Check out what I got coming up next. I'll have a presidential prediction video coming again very soon as I evaluate the polls and see how Trump is doing and his recovery with COVID-19. I also have a recap and reaction video to the vice presidential debate that's going to be on Wednesday. So yeah, y'all make sure to stay tuned. Like this video, comment if you have any comments for me, and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all support. Thank you for being there for me, for watching my videos, for just just tuning in. It's really a pleasure to have y'all here with me every day that y'all are here. So I'm just very grateful for that. So yeah, y'all make sure to stay blessed, stay safe, take care. And don't forget this part. God bless you. I'll catch y'all later.